Big Angie said he's not going to change his approach. Where do you sit on it yourself? I know we spoke about it defensively and all that, and I said that there are ways that he can obviously change it and be harder to beat and less attractive to watch, but I just think the level of defending has to be better initially. But then you get somebody like Russell Martin, who also stuck by his principles, but is no longer on the job.
Yeah, no. It's I do think with the modern day manager, Ali, they stick to their guns because. And for years, let's be honest, you go into football management, you've done it. I never did it, but you've done it. You go into football management, you can be out the door within 6-8 games.
Yep.
You can be, and it used to happen. And so I think there's been a complete change of thought with managers with regards to that, and you can't blame them because they get sacked so readily that now all of a sudden they're thinking they're going to go in, going to do what they do. If it works, great. If it doesn't, then I'll take that philosophy to my next job. Whereas years ago, the first thought for any manager when they walk into a new job was, I've got to win. If you're conceding goals or if you're bottom of the league, I've got to change that. Now we don't see that. And Ange's being asked repeated questions about his team's inability to stop conceding goals, etc., etc. And are you setting the team up right? Listen, the football fan nowadays is much cuter and wiser than they were back in our day in terms of they're bombarded with stats, they're bombarded with numbers all the time. They're engrossed in it a lot more now. And they want to know the answers to a lot of that stuff. So that's why Ange gets asked the questions. And until people see a little bit of a change in something else, he's going to be continually asked that question when they start conceding goals. And I don't think he's getting beat by Liverpool. That's not the reason why Liverpool are a brilliant team.
Of course
they can beat anybody in the land at any time. Even when you're at your best, Liverpool can roll you over. But as listening to Pards there, he's absolutely right. You know, the back four yesterday with Archie Gray and Dragusin,
felt for him.
You know, that there needs to be an adjustment, a tweak a little bit. You can't just assume it's Romero and Van der Ven and Porro and Udogie. You can't just assume that it's your top back four. You've got to make the necessary adjustments to help them. And Ange is reluctant to do that. And I think until he does, he's going to get frustrated even more by the level of interrogation.
I still think, particularly with Dragusin, I still think there has to be a better quality of defending.
Well, he's not a lead, Ali. He's not a leader, is he, Dragusin?
No, not at all.
You know, Romero, for whatever he is, he will sort of try and lead that back four. Him and Van der Ven are great, but when they come out the team, then all of a sudden you're looking for someone to lead it, and he's got enough on his plate trying to get his own game sorted out.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do, Andy. We've got Phil's given us a call on 03717 223344, and Phil is a Spurs fan. Good morning, Phil. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, lads.
Morning, Phil.
What do you think, mate?
Oh, man, there's a lot to dissect from that game yesterday. I mean, I was similar to you, Andy. I was really disappointed with Dragusin because I think that, you know, as the most senior player and someone who, you know, in the sort of Spurs fan base, we sort of heard some rumbles from him and his agent that, you know, he wasn't getting enough playing time and stuff, you know, and he wasn't happy to wait on the bench, and if he didn't get his chance, then he would have moved on. But I mean, I'm not seeing enough from him with, you know, leading those younger players. And similar to Pardew, I thought that, you know, Archie Gray, I feel sorry for the lad. He's never getting a chance to play in his actual position.
No.
And, you know, Dragusin goes in for that header, misses the header, and then we're just exposed. You can't be doing that. You just can't be doing those mistakes. You want a chance.
Agreed.
You get your chance, but then you're just making silly mistakes like that.
Absolutely. Phil, listen, mate, thank you very much for the call. Appreciate it. Andy, we've got another caller, I think. Or do we have? Yeah, we've got Andy, who's a Manchester City fan, wants to give us his views on Manchester City and Pep in particular. Andy, good morning.
Good morning, Ali. Have you got rid of that sore throat?
Oh, I had, mate. That was. Do you know something? And that wasn't even a night out with Brazil. Normally, it's a night out with Brazil that it goes there, mate. But that was a genuine infection, my friend. In fact, can I just say thanks very much for your concern?
It's all right. I listen to you every day, mate. Every morning on my way to work. You and Mr. Jordan and blah blah blah. Let's just talk about City a minute. I've followed them for 55 years, all my life. And yes, it's a crisis. First of all, before I carry on, will you thank Gabby Agbonlor as well for inviting me onto the Aston Villa talkSPORT show. I've never heard him go on so long.
Listen, mate.
You beat a club in decline, mate. You beat a club in decline.
I've got news for you, Andy. There's plenty more where it came from, sadly.
So, just for a minute, yeah? So, Edison, this is for me. I'm going to go through it very, very quickly for you. Edison, gone, finished. Okay?
Yep.
Kyle Walker, he's had too much personal things going on in his life. I think his head's gone. He's done so much for the club. What a defender he's been. Probably the best in England for years and years and years. He's finished. He's gone. Too much going on in his life. And sadly that is, but it's true. The rest of the defence, you've got Ake, Guardiola, Diaz.
What about Guardiola? What about Guardiola at the moment, Andy?
Wait. Yeah. Hang on. He's a bit hit and miss, but he's all right. He'll be all right. He's a young lad. Right, so the back four, Rico, he's all right, but he's got to stop playing Rico out of position. He drifts him into the midfield, he exposes us. He's a right back. Leave him at right back. Have a back three, Rico, Diaz when he's fit, Guardiola. Midfield, he's destroyed, absolutely destroyed Jack Grealish for me. He's not a winger. He's never been a winger. He goes to the byline. He can't get the ball across because he's not left-footed. He pulls it back every time. Gamirez, who they're talking about, for 80 million, he's not better than Grealish. If Grealish is playing in that centre mid role with somebody like Stones just behind him, then Foden on one side, De Bruyne on the other. This had been my team against Villa. Savinho, who caused you massive problems, Villa, in the last 10 minutes. Doku on the other side with Matty Cash on a yellow and Haaland in the middle, who, to be fair, he looks a bit disinterested, Haaland. There's something not right there.
We don't know when the ball's arriving, Andy. Yeah,
he's not getting a kick, mate.
He's not getting a kick in the game.
Because exactly, lads. But the reason he's not getting a kick is no support. When you're putting those balls in from wide, you can't be playing Bernardo anymore, Kovacic. They've been great servants. Bernardo, Gundogan. Yeah, they've no pace. There's nothing going forward. You've got Haaland on his own. You've got nothing wide because Jack should be in the middle. And we could get out of this crisis quickly, but I don't think Pep's the man to do it. I wouldn't be giving him 200 million now.
Andy, you've thrown that one in the end, man.
He's given us the best time of my life watching City, the best time of my life, but he's done. There's something behind the scenes that isn't right. And nobody's coming out with it. It'll come out in the end, like it always does. Something isn't right there. But it's fixable, but I don't think with him. And your next question is going to be, well, who do you bring in? I can't answer that, if I'm honest.
Andy, listen. Ederson.
I want to follow him.
I'm going to leave you with this one, Andy. Ederson finished, Walker finished, Pep finished, and a Merry Christmas to you, my friend. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Lag me, you lumrick.
Magic, mate. Take care.
Take care, Andy.
Absolutely different class, Andy.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.